Good morning. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Dear partners, dear friends and colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the TORPEDOES Datathon launch event. My name is Vivian Sofou. I'm the Senior Manager of Business Development and Innovation in EIT Manufacturing Southeast. And I would like to will guide you through today's event and welcome you to the TORPEDOES Datathon. Very briefly, EIT Manufacturing is an initiative of the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, a body of the European Union, and we are the leading pan-European community focused in fostering innovation in manufacturing through our unique and active ecosystem. This ecosystem brings together industrial companies and corporates, SMEs, startups and technology providers, academia and RTOs to create with the goal actually to accelerate sustainable innovation in manufacturing in Europe. So aspiring to cultivate such an impactful ecosystem, EIT Manufacturing Southeast joined forces with Motor Oil to present the TORPEDOES Datathon. This initiative signifies the synergy, the collaboration between two European projects, namely the UNDERPIN and the FLEX4RES that are in the DataSpaces sphere. And this collaboration initiative is developed under the Teaching Factory concept with a focus on predictive maintenance in wind farms. The challenge is owned by a Motor Oil company, Oil Renewable Energy, MORE, which is a subsidiary and one of the largest operators of renewable energy in Greece. The Datathon is designed to offer the student hands-on experience in artificial intelligence and data spaces while actually addressing a real-world challenge. So following, we will have today's agenda, we will have the TORPEDOES Datathon objectives by Xanthi Baboula, who is in our team, the Business Development Innovation Manager. And then we will forward we'll give the floor to the UNDERPIN project to describe the challenge, and then followed with the help of the FLEX4RES project to discuss what are the technical guidelines and tools for the students, while in the end, before closing, we will share the rules, evaluation criteria, and the submission platform for the students' reporting and analytics. So before giving the floor to the TORPEDOES Datathon objectives to Xanthi, I would like to welcome our Managing Director, Nikki Kousi, to address the event. Nikki?
Yes. Hello, Vivian. Hello, everyone. Good morning to everyone. I think everyone is excited to be in the room today. And also from our side, we are really happy to welcome this very significant initiative between the two projects, UNDERPIN and FLEX4RES. For the people that are aware on this landscape on European funded projects, they know why this is an important initiative, because it goes beyond a conventional clustering activity. And it goes beyond by the way of technical connection with between two projects, which is not that common. And it's actually something that it's really important. As EIT Manufacturing, we are really happy to support and drive this activity through this datathon. For us, it's important because the data and the connection with the artificial intelligence is one of our 5 technology priorities. So we really want to contribute on that side and bring the stakeholders together. And on the other side, it's really important because also we want to bring the industry world closer to the research world and to the academic world, so that we can actually exploit the most out of this synergy effect. We are really happy to initiate our collaboration with Motor Oil through this activity, and we really see a great value on this and how we can build on top in future steps as well. And of course, we are really happy to have the colleagues and the students from the University of Patras contributing with their innovation and creative minds in order to bring new results on the table. So I hope everyone enjoys today's session. Also, thanks to my team for developing this activity, Vivian and Xanthi. And we will be here for the next steps. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. So, leading the initiative from EIT Manufacturing Southeast, I give the floor to Xanthi Bamboula.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. So my name is Xanthi Bamboula. I'm a Business Development and Innovation Manager at EIT Manufacturing Southeast. It's a real pleasure to welcome you to this today's event and to introduce this exciting initiative from our side. So I will begin by sharing a few words about EIT Manufacturing's role in supporting activities like this and outline the objective of the TORPEDOES Datathon itself. Then I will pass the floor to the project coordinators of the EU-funded projects UNDERPIN and FLEX4RES, who will go into more detail about the structure and the technical aspects of the challenge. To start with, EIT Manufacturing, as Vivian said, is the only pan-European innovation community focused entirely on the manufacturing industry. One of our key goals is to bring together manufacturing companies, universities, and research organizations, helping them grow sustainably by enhancing their skills, capabilities, and of course, collaboration. And how we do it, of course, through education, entrepreneurship, and innovation, with the aim of building a manufacturing sector that is not only stronger, but also greener and more resilient. Our strategic objectives are three. First of all, to put people at the center of manufacturing innovation by empowering them with the right skills and opportunities. The second is to accelerate green manufacturing, driving the sustainability transition. And third, to foster Europe's sovereignty and competitiveness in the increasing global and digital economy. So as part of our mission, EIT Manufacturing works closely with industrial partners, gathering their feedback to better understand their challenges and ensure that our strategy and services respond directly to their needs. So as Nikki also said, one of the most critical and fast-growing areas today is the integration of artificial intelligence and data-driven technology. So these tools are becoming essential for enhancing competitiveness, improving decision-making, and of course, enabling a smarter and more agile manufacturing. And although manufacturers are now focusing on including AI to their strategies, they have not yet integrated into the day-to-day operations, as there are, let's say, several barriers that are holding them back. For example, many manufacturers do not have the necessary knowledge and skills to implement that kind of technologies effectively. Some of them are also afraid of the high initial investment cost. They're also worried about protecting sensitive data. And finally, it is also difficult to align that kind of technologies with the existing processes and systems. And this is exactly where initiatives like teaching factories come into play, because they help bridge this gap by connecting industry with academia to foster experimentation in a safe environment and empowering in this way professionals to solve real-world challenges like the one that the students will solve in this datathon. So teaching factories are designed as a two-way knowledge exchange between academia and industry. The idea is that just like the teaching hospitals that expose students to real medical cases, the teaching factories bring real industrial problems into the classroom and then take the academic solutions back into the factory. And what really makes this approach so powerful is that this approach, it's not one directional. It's, let's say, a collaborative cycle. So the industry defines a real operational challenge, in our case, coming from the renewable energy sector, and then students, from the other hand, organized into teams within a university setting, of course, work towards a technical solution and approach. And then these solutions are reviewed, refined, and discussed, but not just academically, in collaboration with the industry partners who originally posed and presented the problem and the challenge that they have. And this loop of problem definition, solution development, evaluation, and of course feedback, it gives the students a real opportunity to work under realistic conditions, while also helping at the same time the manufacturing companies to gain a fresh and, let's say, innovative perspectives. And this is exactly what the TORPEDOES Datathon is all about. It's an initiative under the concept of Teaching Factory, delivered in the form of a datathon where students will address a predictive maintenance challenge using real industrial data. So this initiative is the result of a European synergy between two EU-funded projects, the UNDERPIN, coordinated by Oil, and FLEX4RES, coordinated by the Laboratory for Manufacturing Systems and Automation, powered by EIT Manufacturing Southeast, Oil, Hellas, and more. So together we have co-designed this datathon experience that brings together real data, real needs, and real learning all together. So TORPEDOES is built around the real-world challenge, as I said before, related to predictive maintenance in wind farms, and will offer to the students that are coming from the University of Patras the opportunity to gain a hands-on experience in areas like artificial intelligence and also industrial data spaces. So beyond just technical skills, this challenge gives also participants a chance to engage in a setting where academia and industry come together, just like a real teaching factory. It's not only about solving the problem, it's about creating the environment where learning, innovation, and industry and industrial impact happen at the same time. And here I will give just an overview of the challenge. So the challenge is on predictive maintenance of wind turbines, and the challenge owner is MORE, which is the renewable energy subsidiary of Oil. So predictive maintenance is essential not only for MORE, but for the broader wind energy sector. And this challenge offers students the chance to contribute to improving the turbine reliability, reducing costs, and ensuring more stable energy production using advanced anomaly detection methods. TORPEDOES also serves as a live demonstration of how two interoperable data spaces created through the UNDERPIN and FLEX4RES project can support real and impactful industrial use cases. And I don't want to take more of your time on that. So after this short introduction, I think it's the perfect moment to move to the next session where the challenge will be presented in more detail. So I would like to thank you once again for your participation in this initiative, and I'm truly excited to see what you will all achieve through this unique experience. So thank you very much, and Vivian, back to you.
Santhi, thank you so much. It is really important to understand the teaching factory concept, and thank you for explaining that, because I think it shows the actual impact we're trying to implement with the synergy. So without further ado, I would like to give the floor to the UNDERPIN project coordinator, project manager of Oil, Hellas, Mr. Soteris Dafalias. followed by Mrs. Sofia Visvardi, grid engineering specialist from Moore Company. Please, the floor is yours to explain both the underpin and also the challenge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vivian, for the introduction. I'm very happy to be here. It's a very important event for us, and for me especially, as I was a student in the University of Patras. So it makes me happy seeing so many participants from the university, the new generation of students that are involved in this datathon. And of course, as you said, all of you, it's really important because it's not only a datathon, a challenge with this event. We can have the integration of the two data spaces. Students have the opportunity to interact with the real problems that they will face in their career later. And yes, I think that it's a great opportunity for all of us to be here. So I will start with my presentation about UNDERPIN project, and then I will give the floor to my colleague Sofia that will describe in more detail the challenge and the data that will be used in this datathon.
Thank you. Super. Okay, you can say.
Okay.
So
okay, great. So an overview of my presentation. I will speak a little bit about Motorola. Then I will say some basic information about UNDERPIN project. I will present a little bit what are the industry challenges and the data-related challenges that led us to the data spaces. And then I will go to the UNDERPIN data space and I will describe a little bit the use cases that we have there. So, Motorola is actually an energy group based in Greece. It was founded in 1970, and the main activity is the refinery. Motorola owns one of the biggest refineries in Southeast, and it is probably the largest privately owned industrial complex in Greece. And our products are exported in 75 countries. For instance, we have more than 1,500 gas stations in 5 countries. So this is a very big group. We have more than 90 affiliated companies, and we're occupying more than 3,000 employees. In recent years, we understand that the world is changing and we understand the needs of our era. So we're making significant progress on our energy transition plan. So we have an investment plan of 4 billion euros by 2030 in our main strategic sectors, which are actually 3. The first is the fuels. We want to reinforce the resilience of the refinery, but we also aim to decarbonize our products and our activities. And of course, we want to move on the digital era. And this is how, let's say, it is connected, our vision with the data space. The second pillar is the electrification. We want to have a growth on the renewable energy sources, and we want to, let's say, be more international than we are now. And of course, we want to optimize our operations and, of course, to provide integrated customer solutions. And the third pillar is circular economy. We are exploring growth in waste management. We want to develop and use high-value feedstocks. And of course, we want to harvest the potentials of the circular process. Part of this effort is being implemented in UNDERPIN project, which aims to create a data space specialized in manufacturing industries. The project initiated at the end of 2023, and it has 24-month duration, which means that we have around 7 months until the end of the project. The consortium consists of 11 partners from 5 European countries. We are creating a framework to support the realization of the common European data spaces. And in UNDERPIN, we're focusing on dynamic asset management and predictive maintenance. So we have 2 use cases through we want to validate our approach. Sorry. And we want to validate our approach to the real world scenarios. Before I go to the data space description, I would like to say some words about the challenges that we have identified. On one hand, there is, let's say, the industry challenges that are related to the equipment, to the unplanned downtime, and the high costs of our equipment. As you know, the machinery and the production assets are operating continuously under varying loads and conditions. And as you understand, they naturally experience a degradation over time. Having this in mind and considering that the unplanned downtime not only results in loss of output, but also leads to high emergency, let's say, repair costs, it is evident that the predictive solutions are necessary. On the other hand, there are some kind of data-related issues. In the recent years, you know, there is an increase in data generation across various industries. And often we see that the data remain locked in individual companies or vendor systems, and they are not fully exploited. So even though many companies have invested in specialized equipment for data production and collection, these systems often operate independently and are not, let's say, designed to easily share data with external stakeholders. So from a technical point of view, there is a lack of integration between companies and suppliers that have interest to use this data. And on top of that, there are several, let's say, constraints, because many of the data assets, as it is the case in manufacturing, and in our case as well, these data assets contain sensitive information, so companies are somehow reluctant to share this information with others. So how can these two combine, and what can we do for this? This is where the data spaces come into place. In short, a data space is a digital infrastructure, is a series of software and components that facilitates data exchanging. So the software can be deployed on-premise or on cloud, and the data assets are not stored within the data space per se, but remain in the owner's storage. This is what we call sovereignty. So the participants are beforehand identified in the data space authority. So no one, I mean, if you want to have access, you have to follow the terms and conditions of the data spaces, and it's not open availably. So after their acceptance, they have the credentials, and the data owner then can select which data will share and with whom. The most fundamental component of the data space is a connector that provides data connectivity and interoperability functions, provide authentication and interfacing with trust services and authorization. And of course, it helps on the data production description. Through this datathon, the students will have the opportunity to use a connector, and I think that there is a specific tutorial about this later. So, UNDERPIN DataSpaces focuses on dynamic asset management and predictive maintenance, and establish a secure, user-friendly platform for manufacturers, ensuring compliance with legal considerations. UNDERPIN promotes trust and security enable technical and semantic interoperability, and deploy sustainable business model, which is a little bit, let's say, challenging for us because data spaces are not widely accepted. So we're trying on this as well. So UNDERPIN will enable secure data sharing and storage sectors using and leveraging AI capabilities, as well blockchain technologies to ensure that data integrity, traceability, and sovereignty. We believe that through these cross-sectional collaborations, we will promote the development of innovative solutions and products related to the predictive maintenance. UNDERPIN validates its approach through two real-world pilot demonstration in oil refineries and wind farms. These pilots showcase how manufacturing companies and SMEs can leverage the shared data for improved decision-making and better asset utilization, and of course, for enhanced maintenance strategies. Both pilots focus on demonstrating the benefits of data-driven decision-making, as I said before. And for oil refinery operations, the goal is to develop models that detect anomalies across the production chain, embracing predictive maintenance and operational efficiency. And for wind farms, the aim is to analyze the sensor data to predict and prevent failures. More about the second use case will be presented by my colleague Sofia, and this is where my my presentation ends. Thank you very much. I don't know if you have any questions for me. I cannot see any.
I think we can address that probably in the end. So thank you.
Okay. So I give the floor to Sofia that will present the challenge and the description. Sofia, I will handle the presentation. So let me know when you want me to move forward if I don't get it right.
Okay, thank you. Good morning from me as well. My name is Sofia Visvardi. I am grid engineering specialist in MORE. I'm very happy to participate in this datathon as well. And I was also a student at the University of Patras. So I'm very excited for this collaboration. To begin with, let's take a look at MORE, or Oil Renewable Energy. MORE is a subsidiary of Oil Hellas, and it's a leader in Greece renewable energy landscape. The company currently manages a portfolio with an installed capacity of 839 megawatts. Specifically, the 94% of this capacity coming from wind-based power generation units. On the left, we can see a map of Greece and the operational assets of MORE. You can see how the assets are spread in Greece. In addition of its operational asset, MORE is actively developing project with a pipeline of 2.7 gigawatts. So you can see that the continuous growth reflects both the company's strategic vision and its commitment to support Greece renewable energy targets. We can continue, Aristotelis. Now, one of the biggest challenges in wind energy isn't just generating power. The biggest challenges are keeping the turbines running efficiently. So this is where predictive maintenance takes place. So predictive maintenance is really important for the operational efficiency in the wind energy sector, and MORE it's especially and for MORE as well, because as we saw before, the scale and geographic spread of its asset is quite large. So wind farms often are located in remote locations where they are hard to access, and physical maintenance becomes logistically complex and costly, and most of the time takes many hours and many days to finish this maintenance. Additionally, turbines operate in harsh environment conditions such as high wind speeds, high temperatures, dust, humidity, snow. This is also a challenge and accelerates and increase the risk of component failure. On top of these issues, wind turbines face periods of downtime, failures, and now curtailments that are imposed by IPTO. So we have many hours with no production. And now this is exactly where predictive maintenance come into play. By using data, we can anticipate failures and strategically schedule maintenance activities during the downtime of the wind farms. So this approach can significantly reduce unplanned outages, and it can reduce the cost, and it can we can have more efficiency in our wind farm. So finally, the benefits of the predictive maintenance is to optimize cost and extend the lifespan of valuable equipment. We can continue, please. So the SCADA data that we are going to use to this datathon are meteorological data, sensor data, and failure data. Meteorological data, it's wind speed, wind direction, temperature, humidity. Sensor data, it's like generator speed, blade pitch, gearbox temperature. All these data are in a 10 minutes interval, and have been collected through the SCADA of the wind farm. This wind farm has 10 wind turbines, so we have this data for all wind turbines of the wind farm. Additionally, we will also have the failure data. The failure data are failure events, alarm logs. These logs are also provided by the SCADA. And also we provide the major component replacement records. These records have been created manually by our engineer, and all the major failures of the components have been recorded. We can continue. Let's have a look how the data will be. Regarding the sensor readings, we will have about 50 metrics available in the dataset in minimum, average, and maximum values. In the picture, you can see how they will look alike. And we have the date, we have the time, and then all the categories of the data. Then we will have the log files, alarm data that includes date, duration, description, event type, the severity of the alarm. And you can see as well how this will be. And finally, we will have the failure events. This will be a table that will include all the major events. As I said before, we will include all the major failures. We will have in which turbine this failure occurred, and the notification of the failure, which means what day these failures took place, and the date of the replacement. Thank you from me as well.
Okay, thank you both. It's great not only to understand and listen to what Motor Oil and more are doing, but also it's very interesting to understand more about the challenge that the students have to resolve. So moving on to the other counterpart, FLEX4RES, I would like to invite Dr. Kosmas Alexopoulos, who is the FLEX4RES project coordinator, Mr. Manos Bakopoulos, who is a research engineer in FLEX4RES, and Mr. Sotiris Karabatakis, Associate Director of Research in Semantic Web Company, to describe more about the connectivity between the two and the technical characteristics of the challenge, as well as FLEX4RES. The floor is yours.
Should I start?
Kosmas?
Yes, please. I was about to ask my colleague Manos to start.
Okay.
But before Manos starts, just to give also my very short welcome and very short Thanks to Motor Oil for this initiative. That is very interesting. Also for several reasons. One reason is that it will allow for our new colleagues, our students, and new colleagues, young colleagues, to really work on this very interesting and hands-on problem and have a hands-on experience. That's very important for us. We, as university and as lab, always try to combine research together with practical problems that the industry faces. So for us, it's really important to have this kind of activities. And I hope the students will find it very interesting and really enjoy working on the challenge. And the other point is the project point of view. We're also very happy to work with the UNDERPIN colleagues and set up this collaborative data space. I have to say it's rather rare that projects work together and really deliver something tangible in technical terms. Also, this is very important and very good for us. And also, I would like to thank the EIT colleagues for their contribution in setting this up. Now we have a couple of presentations from my colleague Manos. Manos is the guy that is doing the hard work in FLEX4RES project, running day in, day out. So he will present us about the project and also provide some insight on how we are going to, and then the students will get access to the data that are available through the data space. And then I have a short presentation giving some insight into the teams that we have set up. So Mano, the floor is now yours.
Thank you very much, Cosma. Just a moment to share my screen. I hope that you can see my screen now.
Yes, just fine.
Okay, thank you very much. So, hi from my side as well. My name is Manos, and this presentation is about the FLEX4RES project. So FLEX4RES stands for DataSpaces for Flexible Production Lines and Supply Chains for Resilient Manufacturing. So FLEX4RES is a Horizon Europe project that started at the beginning of 2023, and this is the last year of the project with 70 partners across 6 European countries with total duration of 36 months, where LMS is the coordinator of the project. So what is the motivation behind the project? Due to the fact that different kind of disruptions may be occurred in a manufacturing system, like arrival of a new product, different kind of disruptions, for example, pandemic, or new regulations that may arise, there is a need to firstly identify the disruption and then quickly adapt. So this makes the manufacturing system more resilient. In FLEX4RES, in order to do so, firstly we utilize the data space concept in order to exchange data in a secure way. Secondly, we utilize the asset administration cell concept, where we implement we capture the data that are coming from the industries as asset administration cell models, but also the results that we offer. So on top of this, we have two different toolboxes. The first one is the Resilient Assessment Toolbox, where resilient assessment services have been developed in order to assess how resilient is a manufacturing system in different levels. I will explain this later on in the next slides. And also Reconfiguration Strategy Toolbox, where it contains services in order to quickly adapt to the disruptions. As you can understand, in the FLEX4RES project, we study a subset of disruptions, some disruptions that we have identified in the use cases that we have. So the objectives of the project are the following. Firstly, the implementation of an open platform in order to facilitate the data exchange and the use of the AAS, of modeling the data as AASs. Secondly, the resilience assessment toolbox. Thirdly, the reconfiguration strategy toolbox. And finally, test and validate the integrated solutions into the industrial pilot cases. Regarding the pilot cases, we have 4 pilot cases. Sidenor is coming from Greece, Vestalpin from Austria, Goemek from Spain, and Hansberg from Germany. As you can see, we have categorized them into 3 different levels. So the first one, the macro level, as we call it, is about the production network or the supply chain. Meso level is about the production system, and micro level is about devices and machines or resources. So the use cases have been categorized into these 3 levels because solutions have been developed for the 3 different levels. So in other words, resilience assessment services for supply chain and also tools that can quickly adapt to some disruptions in the supply chain, similarly to the production system and also to the device and machine level. So this is our approach, the FLEX4RES solution, I would say, where what we use is 2 different data spaces. One is the GaiaX and the other one is the IDS, International Data Spaces. So we have identified a scenario where we can bridge these 2 data spaces, where we have a computer data environment where services can access data from both data spaces, but also from a local data sources. I will not go into the details of the solution because I would like just to highlight some other important things that we have in the project. So as I already said, we utilize 2 different data spaces, the international data spaces and GaiaX, where for GaiaX we implemented using the Pondus X ecosystem. From the Pondus X ecosystem, a user can download a service or a dataset, where in the international data spaces, a user can exchange data in a secure way. Also, regarding the AASs, we have some we use some platforms from the partners that are involved in the consortium.
Anno, can you hear us? I think we have a technical glitch. Mano.
Maybe there is some connection drop. I cannot think of something else.
Maybe.
Very typical on live events.
True. Hopefully it will be restored soon. So. If not, we can continue to Batakis and then come back to Manos if you can join.
Manos is joining. Let's just call him.
Okay.
He's joining. So let's give him half a minute.
Of course.
Mano, can you hear us now? Mano, can you hear us?
Manos is experiencing an issue, but I hope it will be resolved soon. We can see you, we cannot hear you. See you, your avatar.
I'm taking the opportunity here to break the ice. I just want to mention that
Please,
Sotiris Karabatakis is part of UNDERPIN project. Even though his presentation is on the technical side after FLEX4RES, just to mention that he is working for UNDERPIN.
Okay, great. Maybe Sotiris should be happy soon. Cosmas, should we wait for Manos a bit longer or move a bit and come back?
He just informed me that his network just died.
Okay.
He's trying to connect over another channel. I don't know how much time it will take for him to rejoin. So maybe we could proceed with Sotiris, and then
Yes.
by the time Manos joins again, he can continue. To be honest, I'm not sure. I mean, if Sotiris' presentation is to be on top of Manos, so maybe we lose some information. But right now, I don't see we can do something else. So maybe I suggest that we proceed with Sotiris,
Yes, okay.
then we can continue with Manos.
Mr. Karabatakis.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Greetings from Vienna. I think I'm the only one on the meeting, not in Greece at this moment, but yeah, in any case, good morning again. So today I will present you, this is a more technical discussion about how the connectors work. And I think as a nice introduction to the topic would be to just describe very briefly what the connectors do. So how the data space works. So here you see the very basic overview of how a data space is actually architectured. So there's the main thing is that there are two things. One company that wants to share some data. In this case, this is the data provider. And there is also another person or company that wants to consume this data. So we set up all this infrastructure to make available the transaction between those two persons in a sovereign way with maximum security between the systems. So the main ingredients of a data space are the connectors, which are software components actually, and those enable to describe your data using standards, namely the DCAT, vocabulary to describe the data of the specific assets, and also the usage policies for this data set. So each asset is attached with some policies that define which actions can do the users on the data sets, and also the connectors are using this information to enforce the usage of the data set. So if, for instance, a policy limits the duration on which a consumer can consume some data, then the connector disallows the further consumption of the data after this limit has expired. Other than the connectors, there are also other components, some central components. This communication between those two connectors are peer-to-peer, so there is no any kind of interaction with central components other than the identity provider, which is a very central component on the data space, which is the main component which provides the authentication of its users, its participant on the data space. And through this, each connector knows to which connector it talks to and who has access to the datasets and so on. Other than this, there is the broker component, which is, let's say, the white pages of the data space, which contains all the information about which assets are available across the data space. So this collects the information from each connector and publishes this in a catalog, so then the users can search through it and see which kind of data sets are there with which policies, and so to decide which ones to consume and so on. Then there is the clearinghouse, which is the component which gets all the information about the transactions that have happened within the data space. Then there is the application store, which is a component that offers applications that can be deployed on the infrastructure of each connector. And those applications can offer any kind of processing of data or other activities. And last but not least, there is also the vocabulary hub, which is also a very important component of the data space, which provides information about the metadata, describes the metadata that is provided on the description of the assets, so everybody knows what this is about. So in the Datathon, one thing that you need to do is the first step is actually to get access to the data, and this should happen within a connector. So I suppose that all of you have, all the different teams have access to the connectors. There are 2 connectors, and the teams have been split into different connectors. So each team has some accounts on the connectors, so you can access those. And through this tutorial, I can show you how this can work. So first, we have to go to the connector, which we have access. Here, I'm using this demo connector 1, but you will use different connectors, but the process is the same. So first, I have to sign in. Of course,
sorry,
I was signed in.
Sorry for jumping in. I think that at least I see the previous image about the data space architecture.
Yes,
I don't know.
here.
Okay, so I forgot to change the tab.
Okay,
so
okay.
You see the correct one now, yeah?
Yeah, great, yes.
Thanks. So here is the interface of the first page of the connector. So you first need to log into the connector with the credentials that were given. So this will lead me to the kick log infrastructure. So from here, I have to log in. What is my password? So
please share.
Yeah, it's nothing important. So yeah. Yeah, so there are 2-step verification on the connector. So you need also to, I think you have to go through this process when you actually register on the authority portal. So you need to have the authentication app on your mobile and register the account over there. So after this is done, you will have these one-time codes. Yeah, so this is the front page of the connector. From here, you can see a dashboard where you see basic information about the incoming data offers or the outgoing data offers that you have provided to the data space and so on, and other information. You can find the basic information about the connectors and so on. So the first step actually to provide some data to the connector, although this is not a part of the datathon, you will actually at the first step consume data. But here from the create data offer, you can go through this menu and provide the different information needed. So you create the metadata, the description of this asset you want to offer on the connector to actually make an offer. Yeah. So from here, you can also describe it of what this asset is about and what is the description of it, add also some keywords. And also we're using this property to define the schema of the structure of a data set. So we are using this vocabulary called CSV on the web to describe the structure of the columns. And then this is in a machine readable format, which you can use to actually automate your processing without needing to actually know what is the structure of the different columns within a CSV file or whatever. Yeah, everything is described on the schema, so you can really automate the whole process from there. But this is quite an advanced field. We move on with the next of the properties, so like the theme one or types or whatever else. And the last but not least is the creation of an offer with a specific policy which you can attach on this asset. So this then is made available on the on the data space. So from here on the inventory, you can see the different assets that I have made already available from my connector. This is the assets I'm making available on the data set, on the data space. You can see this also from your connectors when you log in on your connectors. And also I can create new policies where I can say that I want to offer some specific assets with specific test two. Okay, so with specific restrictions of who can actually consume this data set with any kind of time restriction or time span restriction, or combine all those to create a more complex access policy. And as said, this policy matters because it's the way of how the connector actually regulates who has access to the data. And this actually is what provides the sovereignty of the data, because you know what is who is consuming this data and for how long. From here, you can see the offers that I have made available through my connector, the data offers, as though are attached with the policies and the assets. So from the point of view of the consumer, the first thing here, what I described was the providing of the data. This is a step that you will probably do after the first outcomes are provided. So you will have to give back the results on the data space. But for consuming, the first step that is actually the kickoff event about, this is the most important part. So here from the catalog browser, you can access the endpoint, the different connectors that are available on the data space to consume any data. But from here, in order to do this, you need to know which connector to hit in order to get back the results from the assets catalog of the specific connector. But in UNDERPIN, we have also provided another service, which is actually the broker, which is available under the authority portal of the UNDERPIN project. You can find this all information on the instructions that have been given, I think, to Arstelis. I'm not sure if this has been shared already with you. But here through the authority portal, you can go through this catalog, and this catalog actually contains all the assets that are actually currently offered on the data space. And for you, the most important thing is to be able to consume this asset, which is the data set that we want to consume for the datathon. So here, if you click on the title of the asset, you will see the different information about this asset. So what this is about, who provides this data, any kind of properties that describe furthermore the asset. And from here, you see that this is an asset with several CSVs zipped in a zip file, which is the the outcome of the transaction process that will happen after you have made the agreement. So
Tiris, I'm sorry, we can see the catalog browser, but none of the things you mentioned is, should they be shown or it's, okay.
Okay, I'm sorry about this. Yeah, so I forgot to share the correct window, but yeah. So as I was talking about this, this is the authority portal. To access the authority portal, you have to go to this URL. from where you can find all the different assets. And this is the one for the Datathon one. We want to use this. So you have first to go here, find the TORPEDOES Datathon wind farm data. And from here, you can see the different information about this asset. So from here, you can see the usage policies and other information about this asset, who is providing this asset and so on. But the most important part is the connector endpoint, because we need this to copy. So then after copying this, we have to go back to our connector. So I'm sharing this tab now on the connector. I hope it changed already on your screens.
Yes,
so here on the catalog browser, I have to go on the connector endpoints and paste the link of the actual URL of the connector that actually provides this dataset. And if you search for TORPEDOES, or just go to the end of the list, you will see this asset now. Yeah. So it's not possible to initiate a consumption of dataset through the authority portal, but you have to go through the connector in order to do this agreement. So after I find the dataset I want, I just click again on the asset, and I see here again the same information that was shared on the authority portal. And from here, I can actually start the negotiation in order to create this new agreement with the provider connector in order to consume this data. So the very next step is to negotiate this. So this will get a new pop-up where it says that I agree with policies and any kind of other conditions under this dataset is offered to me. So after clicking on agree, I can click on confirm. And then what happens is that the two connectors, the one providing the asset and the one consuming the asset, are making an agreement. And this actually opens kind of a channel where I can consume the data. So this takes a bit of time, but yeah, it just finished. So after I have made the agreement, I can go to the contracts. And on the contracts, I see the different offers that I have actually now active. So all those are agreements that I have made with other connectors. And as you can see, for some of them, I have done some transfers and so on. But this one is the newest one, which is the TORPEDOES Datathon wind farm data, which is the data that we want to consume. So after clicking on the title of this contract offer, I can see again the metadata about it. But the difference with the previous connector is that I have also a few new options here. The one is to terminate this agreement, of course, if I don't want to use it anymore. And the most important one is the transfer one, which is the one we want to use in order to get access to this data. Yeah, to get actually the data, not the access. We got already the access. We were allowed to consume this data, but now we want to transfer it to our premises. So before doing all this, before being possible to consume this data, we need to be able to define where the data will be posted to. It's not possible through the connector to actually download the data as you will do with any kind of link on the web, just clicking on some file and you download it. You have to specify where the connector will send this data. And by connector, I mean the connector from the provider side, because this is how it works. It's the connectors are used to exchange data on the cloud, and it's not meant to be used by users that just download files on the web. So for this, to this end, we have provided the Mini.io service, which is kind of a file storage on the cloud, which you can use it to store data, and also you can use it to share again data through the DataSpace again. Each team will receive an account for this, which provides access to a specific bucket. So I think I have to, yeah, now you can see my Mini.io console. Yeah, is this correct?
Yes, we can see that.
Yes, thanks. So after going into this page, into Mini.io DataSpace UNDERPIN project.eu, you have access to the Mini.io service, which, as I said, is a file sharing service, a file storage service, on the cloud. So for this Datathon, you have to go on the other authentication methods and use the use credentials. Each team will receive its own account over there, so with a specific username and password, which you have to use to log in. I'm using mine here. So yeah. So after logging in, I have access to my bucket. The bucket is something like a folder. So from here, I can see what this folder contains, what this bucket contains. Now it's empty, but I want to use this bucket to actually post the data from the providing consumer to my bucket in Mini.io, so to be able to process it. So the first thing we need to do is, after accessing the console here for Mini.io, is to create an access key, because the access key is what we need in order to create the data address, the information, to provide the information to the connector on which location this data should go. So creating access key, this button on the top right, this creates an access key which we need to copy. So I will just copy here on my notes somewhere. And here is the secret key. Yeah, so you can give any names or descriptions or whatever helps you to remember what this key is about. Remember that this key has the same usage policies as the user of this account. You have just logged in. This user has access to the full bucket. So if you want to restrict access to specific files, you have to specify custom policies. But this is not for the Datathon, just for information about how this works. So after going over this, you don't need actually to specify something. If you don't provide an expiry date, then this is also fine. I think it will expire on default in 7 days, if I'm not wrong. So after clicking on create, yeah, you can also click download the import, so you can have this information, and the key is already created. Yeah. So you see this on the list of the keys. So now the interesting part, we want to transfer the data from the offer to our bucket. As you remember, our bucket currently is empty. So I'm going back to the contracts and I'm initiating a transfer process. So for this, the connector offers 2 options actually. One is to provide a backend. So you have to have a server that is publicly available so that the connector can access. And from there, you can specify the specific URL where this server is, any kind of authentication headers needed to authenticate to the service, and any other headers or parameters needed to access the service and actually store the data. But for the case of the Datathon, because we're using the Mini.io bucket, it's a bit simpler. So you have to go on the custom datasync config JSON. And on the instruction, you will find a snippet, which is in JSON LD actually, but it's not much different from a single JSON file. And from there, you have to copy this text over here. I have to, yeah.
Are we seeing the right thing?
You are not seeing the right screen again. Yeah, sorry. So let me go back. So service tab. Okay. So now I'm back on the connector. If you remember, I had already clicked here from the contracts on the data offer. And from here, there is this button about transfer where you go on transfer. So from here, as I was discussing before, there are different options. The one is the REST API endpoint, where you define the properties for backend, where you define where this data will be posted. And you can also provide some custom JSON. And this custom JSON is the one that we will use. So on the instructions you will receive, you will find the snippet already over there. although it's not in the best format, but yeah, let me try fix it. So from here, yeah, this will take some time, or let me do it easier. So okay, so yeah, so as you can see, this is a JSON snippet which defines where this data should go. From here, you can specify which type of data address is this. One is the REST API endpoint, and the other that we are using is the Amazon S3, because the Mini IO actually services S3 compatible service, the same as provided by Amazon. So from here, you have to specify then the properties about the bucket name, so on which folder it should go. And this, for my case, is the dev one. Each team has different buckets. I think it's called like torpedoes, -team, -1, and so on. And from there, you have also to define the access key, the one I created before in Mini IO. So I copy the values over there. Okay, region should remain on default. And then you have the key name, which is actually the file name. Doesn't mean anything. You can just leave it as is or give it on your own name as you want to name this file. So after this is done, I think this step was quite easy, just to copy the snippet and replace the values with the one we need. We can actually initiate the transfer. So after clicking on initiate transfer, this initiates the transfer of the data between the two connectors. And yeah, so on transfer history, I see that this transfer was already completed. So if I go back and change again the setting of the tab, so you see now the Mini IO console, I suppose. We still see no objects. Yeah, but I think this is just latency. I do not see any errors. So after, yeah, this says that it was complete, but yeah, it's not accurate. You need to wait a bit of time. So after a bit of time, this bucket will be filled with the data we need for. That is my presentation for how this connector works. I guess this card again, you will get the instructions about what you need to do exactly. But we are also available if there are any issues with these actions, and we can help you with that. I hope it was as simple as possible, but still, if you have any questions, I'm available.
Thank you, Sotiris. I think it was super easy. I don't think anybody needs a repetition. Aristotelis, you have
yeah, thanks. Indeed, it seems a bit complex, but it's not. I mean, if you're not a technical guy, of course, it seems a maze. But the instructions that will be shared are very detailed, so I don't think that there will be a problem. But as Sotiris said, there will be a continuous technical support for all teams. And I just want to propose to Sotiris to say maybe what are the basic steps? Maybe I can do it, and Sotiris, you can correct me if I am wrong. So I think that there are, let's say, 5 or 6 steps to follow in order to use the connector. First of all, you have to register to UNDERPIN DataSpace, and after registering, you have access to the portal, let's say. So you go to the portal and find the file that you want to share. Then you go to the connector and to the authority portal, and you find the connector. You go to the connector, you, let's say, paste the information on the data that you want to download. You start the negotiation process, and you create the contract, and then you start the transfer process using Min.io. This is more or less, there are 5 steps. Am I right, Sotiris? I think once the participants find the file, there will be minor questions. That was my 2 cents.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you both. Before giving the floor to Manos, I will just like to make sure again that we will have continuous technical support to the teams. And also we have a dedicated session on May 7th for Q&A, but we will hear more of that going further. So Manos, would you like to resume considering what Sotiris has already shared?
Sure, thank you very much, and sorry that, but I had an internet connection issue. I don't know, Cosmas, if you want to add something before.
No, I just want to say that some of the points that Aristotelis kindly talked about, I think you have prepared some slides to explain how that would work. So maybe you just continue with your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. So now, the plan was to show you two things. One is this slide that somehow want to organize the next steps of the students and explain how also the FLEX4RES data space will be utilized in this datathon. And the second one is that we also develop a Python script that probably the students can use in order to download locally some of the datasets that are offered in the UNDERPIN data space. So the first part is about organizing the students, and one thing is that currently in the UNDERPIN data space there is Sotiris created an organization that is under the FLEX4RES name, the LMS name, and so the students will have account there under the LMS. And the idea is that once the teams will be fully defined, then for each team, the one leader will be selected, and the leader will have access to and will be created an account and will have access to the UNDERPIN data space. So after that, the student will download the dataset, either with the way that Sotiris presented, or I will show you as well another way using a Python script. And then the idea is that after the students, the teams, will create a forecasting service, then a report will be created and then uploaded back to the UNDERPIN data space. And finally, the last step, where this is how FLEX4RES will contribute to this datathon, is that the services that will be developed from the students will be hosted as software as a service to the FLEX4RES data space. And the idea is that a user from the UNDERPIN data space can trigger these tools, and these tools can result back the resulting forecasts that have been made. I don't know if Aristotelis or Sotiris would like to add something at this point. Okay, so I will just share another screen now. Give me a moment. So now what will be presented is a short demonstration of another way to download the data from the UNDERPIN data space. So due to the fact that we have done the tests with other data that were available in the UNDERPIN data space, we will use the same. So LMS, so here we have the one organization, and currently I am the only user. So the team leaders will have access here as well. So from here we have the catalog, and I selected one asset. We will see it here. I clicked to have a negotiation, and now I have in my contracts this data. I don't want to do it again because Sotiris explained this before. So what I have done is I searched in the catalog for data that I wanted. I found the connector ID. I copied it. I went to the catalog browser here, placed this here, and found the data that I wanted just to use for demonstration. So I'm here. And what I have done is I have in a virtual machine here, we have created a script where I will download the data here locally in this virtual machine. So I will just click this one for the sake of simplicity because we have done the testings with this file, but for the datathon we will use the other one that Sotiris mentioned before. But the idea is just to illustrate how we can download this locally. So the idea is that we select to transfer this file, and then in the post request we add the URL that the data should be downloaded locally. So after we do the transfer, we click to start this transfer. We see here that it is completed, and going back to the virtual machine, we see that the data have been successfully downloaded. So these scripts can also be offered to the students in order to select which way they want to download and get the data. That's all from my side. The plan is that we will share the script with the students, and we will support them in case that they want to ask any question, if they have any issue with that. I will stop sharing my screen now.
Thank you so much. It's clear indeed. So in case we have any questions, we can address it in the end, unless Aristotelis, Cosmas or Sotiris want to make an extra point. Until Cosmas, are you going to share some data for the teams before?
Yes, let me share my screen. So here we have a few information about the teams we have formulated to address the challenge. Of course, you may see already in the list, I mean, in the participants, several of the students. Not all of them are here today because some of them had to participate to some labs in the university. So, of course, we had to prioritize the labs. But anyhow, most of them are here today. So we have so we have formulated 8 teams. Each team consists of three people, and one person will be assigned as the team leader, and the team leader will have access to the submittable platform for submitting the final report, and also have access to the data space as Manos and Sotiris explained. And also will be with us let's say the interface. Instead of communicating and interacting with all students, we prefer to have someone representing the team. So all of it have been defined. We have all the teams formulated and the leaders, and now it's time to really start assigning the rights to the data space, to the submittable platform, and also to our local platform that we will have there to coordinate all this activity, I mean, at our premises. Now, the teams, some statistics. So normally, most of them have a background on mechanical engineering, which is the department that we are residing as lab. Then we have students from the electrical department and computer science of University of Patras. Then we have from the computer engineering department of University of Patras. You see here the first three bars. And then we have actually one student that is from the mathematics department of the university, from physics, and one from finances, which is not from the university, but it's a student that we are working together. So we chose also to have him on board as well. So this is from the technical, I mean, the profile and the skills available. Some of them, the way at least we know, have worked on previous projects on data analytics, similar but not exactly to the topic that is being discussed. But I would say for most of them, it will be a new experience to work with this type of tools. Now, from our side, we will set up a help desk just to help them. So it will be an MS Teams workspace, and in which we will invite all teams just to share some information about the competition, and also to provide assistance to them. So we'll have one communication channel per team. And then we will also have a separate channel with a team leader, so we can work with them directly and try to solve problems. Of course, our involvement will be more on the technical side when it comes to data access. This will provide some help, not to the technical content. I mean, the models and the analytics methods and all this, we will leave them to the teams and to find out the best ways. And so it will be mainly on the data access and some issues related to the competition itself. You know, the logistics of the competition, when to submit, what are the deadlines, and eventually some web calls that might take place within May. So they will have access to our through this channel. They will have access directly to us, and if there is something that we cannot address immediately, we can then go to Xanthi and Vivian and the team and try to solve it together. So that is mainly from my side and the presentation regarding the teams. I don't know if there are any questions also for me.
Maybe you can address that in the end. Thank you so much, Cosmas. It's so nice actually having the Datathon being formulated with the teams and the efforts of all the different parties to help the teams with their tasks. So going further to the rules, evaluation criteria, and submission platform, I will give the floor to Xanthi. And just remember, we will have, besides the technical help desk, we'll have the dedicated people that you can address for each issue you face. So Xanthi, the floor is back to you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay, so now in this last session, we will go through everything you need to know to successfully participate and submit your solutions. And we will go over exactly what you need to submit. So the first required item is a technical report, which must be a PDF, no longer than 5 pages. This should include a clear description of your methodology and modeling approach, your validation strategy and performance metrics, and of course the predictions for the 3 hidden evaluation periods that I will refer in my next slide. So this report will give the evaluators insight into how your solution works, but not just the results, but the reasoning behind them. And each team will have to submit this technical report through the submittable platform. We will provide the link to all the teams to have access, and I will show you right away what you have to do to the platform to submit. So I will stop sharing this screen. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So as I said before, we will share, we will send to each team until the end of the day the link to the submittable platform, and this link will lead you to this page, and the leader of each team will have to go here, find the TORPEDOES Datathon, click on submit, and then he will have to sign up and register to the platform. It is a very simple process, just to add your email, a password, and then you will land to this page. So in this page, you will find out in detail the objectives of the datathon and the timeline. So here you can see the timeline of the datathon. So today, in the 13th of April 2025, we launched the datathon. It's the event where the challenge owner presents you the challenge. And then, as Vivian said before, in 1 week, we will also organize another online Q&A session. So you will have to gather all your questions before that, and then the expert will explain you in detail all the questions that you have, also from the technical point of view and from the every operational, let's say, every question for the operational part of the datathon. The datathon application deadline is in about 1 month. It's in 6th of June. So basically, you have more than 1 month to create your solutions. The evaluation of your solutions will be until 7th of July, and the announcement of the finalist will be made until end of July. And then here again, only the team leader will have to fill in some information. Not all fields are mandatory, but we'll have to fill in some information to move on and continue to the next page, where the challenge is described in detail. So apart from the document that we will send you after this event and the technical guidelines, you will also have all the information in the submittable platform. Here in the challenge description, we have also added 4 papers that we recommend to take a look before starting creating your solution, just for inspiration and see how similar, let's say, challenges have been addressed. Here there's also a description of the data set as UNDERPIN and FLEX4RES team presented earlier. And here, when you are ready and you have created in a PDF format the technical report, the team leader will have to fill in some information for the 3 team members, like the name, the surname, and the degree of specialization. And that's all. And then you will have to go in this part and choose the PDF file that you will have to create. Then you will just click this field that you consent to the processing of your personal data and declare that you have read the privacy policy, and you just click on submit, and that's all. So if you have any questions regarding the submittable platform, please just send an email to us and we will answer. But I will share again my screen now to continue with the presentation. Okay, so just give me 1 second. Okay, so that was the first part. The second item that you will have to submit is the model code repository. This is where you will include your full source code, the code you use to train, to validate, and to test your model and your predictions for the 3 evaluation period. And your code, of course, should be well organized with readable scripts, comments, and of course, all the necessary dependencies so the reviewers can run it. And for the specific guidelines of where you will upload this repository, the organizing team will share with you more details by May 30. So keep an eye on it, and we will keep you informed. Then another thing I would like to highlight is that, of course, the official language of the Datathon is English. So this applies to all documentation and, of course, the technical report. And finally, as I said before, the submission deadline is June 6. And late submissions, of course, will not be accepted. So make sure that you plan ahead and leave time for any last-minute technical issue. And let's now go over of how your work will be evaluated in this Datathon. Each submission will be independently reviewed by a panel of 4 experts. We have Mr. Axel Weisenfeld from UNDERPIN project, scientist in the competence unit for data science and artificial intelligence at the Austrian Institute of Technology. Mr. Alkis Kitsatoglou from Oil, data analyst focusing on modeling and analytics for renewable energy assets. Mrs. Sofia Visvardi, grid engineering specialist from MORE. And Dr. Kosmas Alexopoulos, the FLEX4RES coordinator. So each evaluator will apply the same weighting of scores across 4 key performance indicators. So the most important metric, as you can see, weighted at 60%, is the identification accuracy. So this assesses whether your model was able to correctly identify which wind turbine will fail. Then we have the correct detection of failures at 10%, which checks if your model is detecting that a failure will occur at all, even if not it's the correct turbine. Then precision, that is how well your model avoids false positives. This carries a 15% weight, and of course it's important to reduce unnecessary or costly interventions. And lastly, we look at the time to failure estimation, which is also worth 15%. And it's also important to mention that your models will be tested on 3 hidden time periods, where the logs and the sensory data, it's not available to you in the training set. Because we would like to have a real-world forecasting where predictive maintenance models must, let's say, anticipate the unseen scenarios. So again, your success will depend not only on how accurate your model is, but also on how well it generalizes to new data and, let's say, handles uncertainty. And finally, after the evaluation phase is complete, the results will be sent via email by me. The results will go to the contact person's email address as it was submitted on the submittable platform. So please make sure that the contact email is correct. And maybe you should also check your spam or junk folders after the deadline has passed, because we don't want anyone to miss, let's say, this important message. And regarding the prize, the top performing team will be invited to a dedicated visit to a more wind farm. And of course, this is a unique opportunity to experience real-time industrial operations in the renewable energy sector. And of course, it's an experience that's not typically available to students, so we're very happy for that. And beyond the visit, the winning team will also receive recognition and visibility through EIT Manufacturing social media challenge, which is a great way to highlight your innovation and boost your profile in the European manufacturing community. And finally, I would like to wish to all participating teams the very best of luck as we begin this datathon. We're looking forward to see your creativity, your technical skills, and problem solving in action. And finally, no matter how well we prepared you, questions will come up. So whether it's about the platform, the submission, or the data, we're here to support you every step of the way. If you have any general or organizational questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I will be very happy to help you. For more technical questions, especially regarding the data or modeling challenge, please contact Mrs. Delis Dafayas from the UNDERPIN project. And as Kosmas Alexopoulos previously shared, that there is a Datathon help desk if you would like to reach out to them. So whether it's a small clarification or a technical issue, just reach out and we will make sure that we will answer you back, and that you will be back on track quickly. Thank you very much. Vivian, back to you. And I think that we also have a question.
True. Thank you so much, Xanthi. Mr. Vasilopoulos, you have a question?
Hello. Sorry. No, it was a false raise.
False alarm. Okay. We have false alarms in the datasets. So thank you so much. I think we have gone to great lengths. Before giving the floor to the coordinators of UNDERPIN and FLEX4RES, I would like to share that as you have seen, first of all, the whole launch is recorded for the students that were not able to attend. What I would like to share is that you can see here a real-world challenge from the big industrial partner in the Hellenic ecosystem. You can see the rules, the deadlines, the evaluation criteria. It's a very close simulation to what you will experience in your later life when you apply for a competition, apply for innovation call, because it has the standard European guidelines and rules. So this is a close simulation. This is the experience we were trying to give you to be able to get a glimpse of what it looks like and, of course, enjoy the benefits of an award. I would like to ask our partners from Motor Oil that we all go together to accompany the best team to visit the wind farm. So I will give the floor to Dr. Alexopoulos for any final comments.
Yes, thank you, Vivian. I just want to say that it's a very good opportunity for the teams to work on these real industrial problems. They will not have this opportunity very often. I mean, at least as being students, they will see similar problems in their, during their professional life in their career. So we are there for them to help them on the some of the technical issues, but not really on the analytics part, but mainly on the data, how to have access to data in the organization. Yeah, I just want to wish you, all of us, a good start and a good endeavor in this 1 month or so. And let's see how that goes. We're really excited to see how that will evolve over time.
Great. Thank you so much. Aristotelis, any
Yes,
comment
I
here?
think that I am covered from what you have said so far. It's really exciting. I think that students will enjoy it. As you said, they're real case studies, so it's not something to simulate. So it seems very interesting to me. I want to wish good luck to all of you, and yes, enjoy it. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
so for me, it's also for us, for our team, is also very interesting to see the synergy between UNDERPIN and FLEX4RES, and we're looking forward for those results and disseminate and create further collaboration between European projects under the same spheres. So thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. In case we have questions, you will be also contacted from Xanthi and the